All the buildings are still there. It's just the mortuary. It's not being used as a mortuary anymore. It's a different business now.
Okay. What is it?
Bread gets delivered there and then it's distributed again from there. So it's not a bakery as such. Breads are baken off-site and it's just packaged into smaller trucks and distributed from there.
That was after 2021?
That's correct, Commissioner.
All right. If we look at the layout also, what we see is, if you compare CJC 199 and page 11, we see that there's a...
Commissioner.
Okay. So someone can just walk across, or they can,
correct,
they can observe you as you leave and then come in.
Correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioners. Unless there's anything, I think I don't want to belabor the point. I think I'd like us to go back to the statement. We were at paragraph, we just finished at paragraph 24 of your statement. Can we then go to paragraph 25?
As the unit commander, I was ordering control of the office. However, given the tasks and my other responsibilities, I had delegated the responsibility to control of the safes to Warrant Officer A.B. van den Berg. I attach hereby a copy of the handing over certificate in this regard, JJP 2.
And what's the process with this handing over? Is it in terms of permissions? Who is involved in the process? Can you just yourself just delegate Warrant van den Berg?
Yes, I can, Commissioner. So what this would entail is this official form Z543. It's got to be completed. Where
perhaps let's go to page 19 and you take us through that, which is the handing over certificate. That's your JJP 2. You can then take us through that form.
It's for...
Firstly, the application, the form you said you would fill in first.
Z543.
This is the form.
That's correct. That's correct, Commissioner. You can see there's the strong room. It's got a serial number, C1004670. That's room 22. And then my own details, and I hand it over to Warrant Officer van den Berg. The 2 keys for the doors handed over to him. My signature appears there, and the date, the address of the office, and then the date 2019, the 12th of November. And then Warrant Officer van den Berg's details is there, that he receives it from me, he signs it, the address, it's dated again, and my signature as a unit commander is there again. And that proves that I handed everything, he checked everything that was supposed to be in that safe, that it is in that safe. And a occurrence book entry is also made. The OB number is there. It's 22/11/2019.
Ordinarily, who has access to this safe?
After this, only Warrant Officer van den Berg. So he's got the keys.
And officially, without him, no one should access the safe?
No.
Okay, thank you. Can we then go to...
Sorry, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean only he can go into the safe, or they must go through him? He gives the key and people can, you could have asked for the key and went into the safe without him, or he has to be, one possibility is only he can go into the safe. So if you wanted anything, you would have to ask him. That's the one possibility. The other possibility is that you have to go through him and he has to accompany you into the safe. The third is you just take the key and you go alone. What does it mean that he's in control?
Only he accesses that safe. He's got the keys, doesn't give it to anybody else, not even me as the commander. I had to inspect the official firearms that's housed in that safe weekly. I would get hold of him. He would open up for me. Whilst he's there, I will inspect the firearms. Once I'm done, make a OB entry, sign the firearm register, and then I leave and he locks the safe. Keys are always with him. Doesn't give it to anybody else.
So no one should ever be in the safe without Van
No.
Berg being there?
No, no, Commissioner, nobody should.
Thank you.
Now,
Chair-
sorry, in the light of this discussion, I know you are coming to this later with regard to General Sinona, Brigadier Nyuswa, and the rest of the team arriving to deliver the cocaine. I'm interested, there was this formality between you and Warrant Officer Van den Berg, formal handing over with signatures, but the evidence in regard to the handing over of the keys seems to be that the keys were simply handed over to Brigadier Nyuswa. In the context of the prescripts and what the formality you've referred to, can you explain how that handing over took place? They are there, the drugs are put into room 22, is it? And once everything is done, the keys are simply handed over to Brigadier Nyuswa.
Thank you, Commissioner. Once I was contacted by Brigadier Nyuswa to make a safe available for them to bring it.
Yeah, don't go into much detail, just the handing over of the keys, because you are still going to discuss the rest when you come to that part of the statement.
We removed all the firearms, placed the drugs in there, and then the keys were handed to them. And we made an OB entry after they had left.
Oh, that had been done.
Yeah.
And was that proper without the signatures as you have them, for example?
No,
in the,
we did not complete this form.
was that proper? Or did you hear my question?
I hear your question, Commissioner.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should have completed this form. But there was nothing else in the safe. We took everything out of the safe.
There was cocaine now.
Yeah, their cocaine that they came with, Commissioner.
Please continue, Mr. Skaka.
Perhaps let me just follow that up so that so that we clarify it. So when you complete this form, JJP2, you are handing over the keys. Now, this is not the only incident that you handed over the keys. That's what the chairperson is trying to get at. There's another incident, and we don't understand that to mean that this form is completed only when there's certain items, unless I misunderstood you. So it means that when you are handing over the keys, this form must be completed. Correct?
That's correct.
So what the chairperson is trying to get at is when keys were handed over, let's forget the liability or the culpability. When the keys were handed over, as we'll get to it later on, was a similar form completed?
No, similar form was not completed.
And so it would still, administratively, it would mean that the keys were not transferred from an administrative point of view.
That's correct.
Okay. So, and just to follow that up, at the time, we'll come to that. If you go to page 103, which is the part of the national instruction, at the time, the 2017, it's the 2017 as amended, but the wording is the same. At paragraph 5, and we'll get to the timing. The last sentence there, which I would think it's still applicable, is that access control to the safes must be strictly applied.
Sorry, sir, what page is that?
103. It's paragraph 20.5, subparagraph 5. 20 deals with management of subs 13 stores. We will deal with the debate around subs 13 as it was dealt with yesterday. But do you understand that access control to the safe must be strictly applied?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Correct. Okay, we'll come to that. Let's then go back.
Again, it's just to try and clarify, Colonel, not so much to probe. The Port Shepstone office, who is in charge of that office?
I was the acting unit commander.
Okay. All right, so being unit commander, acting unit commander means you are the overall in charge of
That's
the
correct.
office. Now, when you have this situation where drugs have been left in your building, but now the key is with someone else who's based in Durban. Yes, he's your superior, but he's not based in your office. Who at that point has custody and oversight responsibility in respect of these drugs that are in your building?
I handed the keys over to Brigadier Nyuswa. So him as the provincial commander. They've got control over those exhibits, not myself.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to it.
There's indication, I think in your statement, that at some point when high-value exhibits were stored there, an arrangement was made for 24-hour security, I think in the form of guards, warm bodies. Am I correct?
That is correct, Commissioner. That happened in June 2018. We stored a lot.
So 2 years, exactly 2 years before the cocaine was brought.
That's correct.
Yes. Whose responsibility was it to arrange that 24-hour security?
I did that at that stage, Commissioner.
Why was that so? Were those Port Shepstone exhibits? I want to understand why you made the arrangement.
It was a Port Shepstone case. It was our own case.
Yes.
It was a drug lab that we took down, 2 million Mandrax tablets. We guarded it there itself for 2 days until it was taken to FSL in Pretoria.
And in this instance now, 2 years later, June 2020, was it? Oh, so it was actually 3 years before. So June 2021, whose responsibility do you think it was to again arrange 24, sorry for splitting the infinitive there, to again arrange 24-hour security? Whose responsibility would it have been?
I would say the provincial commander's his responsibility.
Brigadier Nyuswa.
Brigadier Nyuswa.
And the reason for that? Why not you?
I don't have enough manpower at my office, Commissioner, for the members to.
But in 2018, you had managed to arrange that.
Because then we knew it was for 1 or 2 days maximum. We could do that. Yeah, there was no indication for what length of period that drugs were going to be there.
Thank you.
Perhaps the other dimension to what the chair is saying is the decision-making power. What changed?
It is not a Potchefstroom case, that. It's a Durban case. It's a much bigger, they've got a lot more people than I've got at my unit. It's their exhibits they brought to my unit. They should have supplied the guards for it there at my unit. Commissioner.
Thank you. Please go to your statement, paragraph 26.
Each of those two safes was built in line with the applicable RSA-NEWz standards. Each had two locks. Warde van der Berg had the keys. Just to be clear, I was not in control of the safes. One of the safes, room 22, was used to store firearms. The safe had a firearm register and the occurrence book. The other safe, room 24, was used to store office supplies, including cleaning material and solutions. Access to it was also registered. There were no cameras inside the building. However, there was an alarm system which I think there's a typing error there. Which monitored motion. No, that's correct. When it was armed, it would be triggered by motion, but only in the passages. None of the officers had any, I forgot the word now of that. The sensors, none of them had a sensor in it. All staff had their own unique code to activate and disarm the alarm. The alarm would not work if there was no electricity, even if it had been armed. Once there is no electricity, it gets disarmed and not work. Further, even if it got triggered and made a noise, no one would know, as the office would be closed and the nearby businesses would also be closed. Basically, the alarm would just ring until someone comes in the following working day. If it went off on Saturday, for example, and assuming there was no interruption of electricity supply, it would be deactivated or disarmed by the first person at the office on Monday morning. If there was interruption of the electricity supply on a Saturday, for example, the alarm would be disarmed and the office would be totally exposed. Obviously, this was a serious risk of exposure. Previously, the alarm system was linked to Armed Response Security Company. The contracted Armed Response Security Company was National Security and Fire. The monthly cost for armed response was R593.56. I attached a copy of that contract, marked JJP3.
I must say, I just do not understand why a contract for only R593.56 could not have been maintained. I'm not directing that to you. I guess I'm directing it to the entire system. There's so much wasted of government funds and funds used for corruption and all sorts of things. But with that in mind, you find a contract of this negligible amount, bearing in mind government resources not being maintained. It just boggles the mind. Please continue.
Thank you, sir. Are we going to that annexure? Can we go on?
No, I think it's fine. Put it on record. Continue to paragraph 29.
The contract expired in March 2020. It was important that the office had armed response because no one was at the office after hours and weekends, including public holidays. This office was particularly vulnerable and had been broken into a number of times. I can count no less than 6 incidents. These were as follows.
I think it's 8.
Sorry.
Count 6.
No, sorry, it's 8 incidents.
Okay.
My
Can
mistake.
I just interrupt you there and just bring it to the attention of the commissioners, the exhibit CJC 200?
CJC what?
200.
200.
It's an A4 page, this one. Apologies, it was provided after the fact. These are instances of the break-ins and what was taken. Please go through it for the commission.
Can I deal with that same one?
Yes.
Commissioners, the first one is there. The date is 27 of December 2011. They broke into that little storeroom that's in the, on the side of the building in the driveway. They broke in there. They stole our vacuum cleaner. Then, on that instance, they broke through the roof there. It's got an asbestos roof. They came through the roof. That stage, there was no electric fence at the back there. Then in 2014, the 8th of June, they broke into the garage. It had a small, not a very expensive garage door there, which they just forced open. One of our state vehicles that was parked in there, they forced the bonnet open and they stole the battery. Then in 2018, the 8th of December, they broke in on one of the side windows. They accessed a few of the offices there, but it was mostly storerooms that they accessed there. And they completely destroyed our alarm at that stage. So it had to be replaced. And on 2020, they broke. I think that instance, it was the 20th of January. I think they broke through the window of Warden of Pinar into his office.
Is that the same Pinar warrant officer?
BJ Pinar, same.
Is that same office?
Same office, same office.
Can you then, in your statement, compare that to your paragraph 29.4, perhaps to give it more flesh? And the reporting of that incident.
Okay. All these incidents were reported to the provincial commander. This incident was reported to our provincial commander, Counterintelligence, Lieutenant Colonel S.R. Singh, also came to the office and did an inspection. He wrote a factual report to the provincial office with the recommendations. It was also brought, to the attention of the district commander and visible policing. We were then requested to do frequent patrols, and members of the office were also asked to do after-hours visits.
Just on that, who was the district commander at the time?
General Namangele.
Namangela.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has since also gone on pension.
Thank you. Do you know if this incident was reported to Brigadier Newsom?
I cannot recall exactly when he started as a provincial commander, but it was reported to whoever the provincial commander was at that stage.
Okay, please proceed with your CJC 200.
On the 15th of March, they broke into the office of Warrant Officer Warren. If I can just go back to those other photos, then I can...
Yes, you may take us through.
I'm just not sure which page that would be. I can show on those photos.
It's the photo album. It starts at page 2, page 1 of the annexes. So
if we look at page 1, at the bottom now, the first windows you see there, that's the sliding gate, the entry there. And you get the second windows. That middle one, the third window, that was Warrant Officer Horn's. Warrant Officer ALW Horn, that was his office. So they accessed it there just from the pavement. They broke a window, forced the burglar bars open, and they were in. No alarm could go off because there's no sensors in the offices.
and when do these incidents normally happen? During the day? Or?
It's normally on weekends. At night.
Okay, please proceed.
Is this the incident where they took 3 laptops?
That's correct, Your Worship. Commissioner, then we look at the next incident there was the 15th of January, 2021. They broke into the office of Captain Leroux. Now, if we go back to that photo 1, the window just on the right of Warrant Officer Horn's windows, they broke in there. Exactly the same modus operandi, they broke a window, forced open the burglar bars. Then, Commissioner, we go to the next one. It's the 11th of October, 2021. Just want to, if we go to page 4, photo 4 of that same album. Those 2 wooden doors with the windows on either side of them, they broke that window on the right-hand side. They smashed that window. There's 2 windows there. They smashed the left one of the 2 windows with a brick, and they tried to force open the burglar bars, but they failed.
Just so that we're clear, so on photo 4, there's the big door that we can see and the small door with where you had said you had put the exhibit. It seems to have some stairs. Those 2, if you come down from those stairs, which is it, the first window or the second window that you're talking about?
It's the window closest to the door. That leads to a small kitchen there in that passage.
I'm saying if you go down the stairs, I just want to locate it so that we understand. Is it before? Is the one before you reach the door, or is the one after the door?
One before you reach the door.
Thank you.
Commissioner, and then the last break-in was the 8th of November 2021. That's when the exhibits were stolen there from the office.
Can I just try to understand, Lieutenant Colonel, when the 11 October 2021 break-in happens, you know that you've got a consignment of cocaine in this building, because the earlier break-ins, you had nothing substantial in there. But the 11 October 2021 break-in happens, you are responsible for the building because you are the boss there. The consignment does not belong to you. You say it's a Durban case, it's not your case. What steps did you take to say to these people, I can't keep your stuff here because it's clearly not safe? There has been an attempt to break in. I don't know if the people who tried to break in wanted to steal this cocaine. there's something valuable here, and I no longer believe that it's safe to keep it here. So before we get to issues of lawful instructions from superiors, you are responsible for this building, and there's an attempted break-in, and you know that you have exhibits that are worth at least 200 million. What steps do you take to increase the security, or to say, I can't keep this thing here, it's not safe in my office?
Commissioners, I reported to Brigadier NEWz. He asked me for progress report, for factual report on the breaking. Everything was provided to them at the provincial office. We had instructions from General Sonona not to inform other members about what we housed in there, that the drugs was there. So we were given instructions by him that the members must visit the office. So with that instruction, and I'm not allowed to tell the members what is in there, I just asked him to, after hours, to make a turn at the office, just make sure everything is safe there.
But you didn't say either we increase security or you take your consignment because it's not safe in my office. You did not do that.
I did not do that, Commissioner.
The factual report that you prepared, what does it do? Is it just an account that we've had a break-in? It doesn't include recommendations from you about what to do?
If I'm correct, that report, it's got in it there exactly what security I've got at my office and what I don't have. It is in that report.
Okay.
Commissioner Baloyi, perhaps just to, if you turn to page 40, this is the factual report of January 2021.
Okay. If you were still going to discuss it, I'm happy to leave it. If
No.
If you were planning to come to it.
No. I think it's just one incident. I just want so that you see how it would look like. He can just take us through it so that, because all the factual reports after each incident would follow the same format.
I see.
Perhaps as an example, could you take us through this factual report and how it would look like?
Okay, it's a factual report. It's dated 18th of January 2021. It says factual report, attempted business break-in, DPCI Port Shepstone. Then the case number is 165 of 2021. It says on Friday, the 15th of January, the offices of Serious Organized Crime Unit situated number 2, Princess Elizabeth Drive, Port Shepstone, was locked and in order. The office was visited on Saturday, the 16th, and Sunday, the 17th, by various members of this unit. On Monday, the 18th, Foreman Tuccini noticed that both windows of the kitchen were broken, but the burglar bars prevented them to enter. On further investigation by myself, it was evident that they used a large rock to try and force open the burglar bar. There was also signs that they tried to force open the back passage door that is situated next to the kitchen windows. The office was previously broken into on the following dates: 2011-12-27, 2014-06-08, 2018-12-09, 2020-01-20. This office is fitted with an alarm that was monitored by National Security and Fire. During April 2020, we requested to be on a month-to-month contract with National Security as we were awaiting the procurement process. During May 2020, an application was done to upgrade the alarm system. This office was told to get 3 new security companies to tender for the upgrading and the monitoring of the alarm system. The 3 companies who tendered were Uyabonwa, Fidelity ADT, and Laser 911. During December 2020, this office received a statement from National Security informing us that due to non-payment, they have removed us from their system and would not be rendering any services at our unit due to non-payment. Currently, the alarm is activated after hours and on weekends, but if the office is broken into, there is no way for any of us to be notified about it. We will only see it when we arrive at the office. Further progress will be reported.
And is that your signature at the bottom there?
That's correct.
And just to be clear, was this, who's this report directed to?
It was sent directly to the Provincial Commander, Brigadier Newswa.
Okay. And after this time, Major General Sinona would have been in office?
I'm sorry, sir?
General Sinona would have been at office at this point?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe coming back to the factual report for the October incident, did you receive a response from Brigadier, I think it is, Brigadier Nyuso, after the October incident?
I did not get any response from him.
Not even a discussion with
No.
you? Okay, thank you.
Perhaps we'll come to discuss the 8th November 2021 in more detail in your statement. But just to understand, would factual reports that you prepare, were they all written?
Were they?
All written
Yes,
as documents?
yes,
Okay. And you would address them to whoever is the provincial commander?
that's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Please proceed. Paragraph 13. It's about applications for the alarm or armed response, as it were.
As I have stated above, in March 2020, the armed response contract expired during April 2020. I made an application for the continuation of the contract with National Security and Fire on a month-to-month basis while still engaging a formal procurement process. The application was addressed to Supply Chain Management and Colonel Madhu. This request was sent to the provincial office. Attached a copy of the application as marked JJP4. However, the procurement was not approved.
Sorry, Colonel, could you then go to page 22?
Sorry. Colonel, you referred to a request for a month-to-month extension, and then you also referred to a procurement process, and then you end the paragraph by saying, however, the procurement was not approved. By that, are you referring both to the month-to-month extension and then the procurement, which I assume was to be for a longer term?
That is correct, Commissioner.
So
Both
the
of them
the refusal was in respect of both.
That's correct.
And what reasons were given for that?
We were given no reasons.
I guess I may ask the question in respect of the other refusals, because your statement refers to, I think, no less than 3 other refusals. In respect of the others, were reasons given?
No reasons given, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. At page 22 of the annexures, that's the application for 2020, for 22 April 2020.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Is that the application that you made?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Who else was it addressed to, or other than Colonel Madhu?
It was also sent to Captain van die Kerk. at our provincial office. She deals with the SCM.
Then to address what Chair is inquiring, if you turn over the page at page 23, at paragraph 8, could you read that to the record?
What's the page number there?
23, just the next page.
An application is hereby made for the current contract with National Security and Fire to be continued on a month-to-month basis while the procurement process is being done.
And as you said to Chair, there was no response to this.
Nothing.
Okay. Continue to paragraph 31.
Another application was made on the 26th of May 2020. It was also not reacted to, let alone be approved. On the 17th of August 2020, I made another application to the Provincial Commander, RSA-NEWz and Supply Chain Management, Colonel Madhu, that application could not be processed because Colonel Madhu, dealing with the application, left procurement, so I later learned. On the 8th of September 2020, Chief Admin Clerk Olivier of my office addressed an email to Captain van Niekerk of the Provincial Office, providing responses to information that was sought, including setting out the type of security system we required. I attach here to a copy of the said email, marked JJP5. It is to be noted that Mrs. Olivier warned that if there was a break-in at the office, it would be problematic as there was no security service in place.
Can we then turn to that annexure?
Maybe I misheard you, Colonel. I thought you said Ms. Olivier, the Chief Administration Clerk in your office.
She is in my office, Commissioner.
But I see here in your statement it says from provincial office.
That's a typing mistake, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Please turn to page 26. Is that the email that you are
Yes.
referring to?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. If you turn over at page 27, the third paragraph, could you read that to the record?
On 22 April 2020, application was made for the contract with National Security and Fire to be...
Sorry, the following paragraph.
The next...
Start from 22 April is fine.
Application was made for the contract with National Security and Fire to be continued on a month-to-month basis, as at the time we were still in credit with them, and for the request was made for the duration of the process of obtaining quotes from new suppliers. To date, no feedback has been received on that application. The security system that is currently in place is working. However, should there be a break-in at the office, it will be a problem, as there is no security contract in place. Procurement process for new security contract was done. Other service provided quotes for a 12-month contract for alarm and security services. 3 private security suppliers were requested to quote for security services to include the following: installation of CCTV system, monitoring equipment, infrared passive sensors, armed response, digital recorder, and remote, inclusive of remote network, monitor via cell phone, external perimeter features, beam sensors on the outside of the office windows. An application was made on 29 May 2020 for security service and monitoring at the office for a period of 12 months, but to date it has not been approved. The quotes received from suppliers have now been expired.
I'm not sure I understand the first sentence of the paragraph that states the security system that, let me read the whole thing, the security system that is currently in place is working. However, should there be a break-in at the office, it will be a problem as there is no security contract in place. My understanding is, as at that point, there was no armed response, and also the alarm system would go off whenever there was load shedding, and there would be no backup, so it was good as not there. I want to understand the sentence that says the security system that is currently in place is working. Does that mean the alarm system just making noise here and that's it, and if there's nobody to hear it, it's as good as not being there? Weekends, as you said, nobody would hear it. It would go on and on until the following Monday.
That is correct.
Do you think this captures the situation accurately to then say it's working?
You can just arm it, but that's all. It's not connected to anybody.
It just makes noise, that's it.
All.
If you are not there overnight and during weekends, it's useless, completely useless.
That is correct, Commissioner.
All right.